So tell me, Bob, is air travel still a nightmare?
Well, it's not as bad as it was, but not as good as it should be.
So today we'll talk about how to cope with air travel. Today on Dream, Travel, Share, Unpacked.
If you'd like to receive an email version of today's show, along with our weekly travel opportunities, click on the link below to join our mailing list. We promise to only send you one email a week every Friday. You can unsubscribe at any time, and we won't share your email address with anyone else. And look at us, we're in the same room. That doesn't happen very often.
No, not at all. So how bad is it?
Well, again, I mean, it's better than it was, not as good as it needs to be. But the reality is that we always debrief with our clients when we get home from a trip, and 95% of the complaints we get are about air. So, and again, I don't want to make this a rant about how bad air travel is. The intent of today is more about an air travel coping guide.
Okay, what do people have to do?
Well, one thing is look for foreign flagged carriers. So I know that sounds horrible, but the big joke is that if you live in the Americas, north or south, you get 3-star airlines. If you live in Europe, you get 4-star airlines. And if you live in Asia, you get 5-star airlines. So one of the things Sue and I have done more recently has been to fly Turkish Airways, because of course they are an Asian airline. But Istanbul is pretty much in Europe. It's half in Europe. So if we're going to the eastern side of Europe, we found that Istanbul is a good place for us. So that's one thing you can do. The other thing is that money solves some of these problems. So what I mean by that is that certainly if you can pay for premium or business class air, you're going to solve yourself a whole bunch of issues. Now, sometimes it's completely out of sight, $18,000 to, go to London or something. Well, not many of us are buying that. But nevertheless, if you can pay for that, that's not a bad way to go. Also, if you can reduce the number of stopovers you have. So again, if you're hopscotching, 3 or 4 different stops to get to wherever you're going, sometimes it's unavoidable, but every time you add a stopover, you're adding a level of complication. As always, you should pack light, because the less stuff you have to manage, the easier it's going to be for you. And we had one client from Chicago who was going to Australia, and she broke her air trip into smaller segments. So she flew to Seattle and spent a couple of days in Seattle, and then Seattle to Honolulu, and did, I think, a week in Honolulu, Honolulu to Fiji, a few days in Fiji, Fiji into New Zealand, New Zealand into Sydney. Her longest flight was 6 hours, which is way better than doing like 15 hours or 14 hours or whatever it is from LA or San Francisco to Sydney.
Yeah. I know that you and Sue taught me this trick. I will go premium economy over the pond for sure, but I'm conscious about the price point. So I find longer layovers, and then a hotel in the airport.
Right. Yeah. So if you end up, if you can save yourself a couple of $1,000 by having like an 8-hour layover, great. Spend $200 on a hotel room.
Exactly.
You're still
go to the gym, go out for dinner, have a shower, get on the next leg.
Yeah, that's a great way to go.
Anything else with flights?
This is going to sound a little bit ridiculous, but you got to take a chill pill, right? Like you just got to.
Not coming from you.
You got to, especially from me, right? So I'm just not that guy. But you got to find your inner zen, right? And just because if you set your expectations super low when you fly, you won't be disappointed, right? So I just expect it to be a disaster every time I get in an airplane. And when it goes according to plan, I feel like I've won the lottery.
So what are we talking about next time on Dream, Travel, Share?
Next time, we're going to be talking about Holland America, which is a bit unusual for us because most of our clients, again, are small ship, ocean, river cruises, expedition cruises, and Holland America is one of the bigger ship cruise lines, but we are going to be talking about Holland America next week.
Look forward to it.
We'll see you then. If you enjoyed this video blog, it really helps us when you like, or better yet, subscribe to our channel so that we know the best content to produce for you. If you want to book a cruise or packaged land vacation, then we'd love to help you out. We know the products and destinations very well, and we can always get you something not available on direct bookings. Our coordinates are in the notes below. Also, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, you get one email a week every Friday with some commentary and some different deals that we're seeing in the marketplace. We don't share your information with anyone else, and if you decide it's not for you, then we're sorry to see you go, but there's an unsubscribe button at the bottom of every email. See you next time.